The GPS is quiet, she gave up long ago, recalculating routes that I already know. I missed the turn off back at mile marker 10, the one that could have brought me to your arms again. I saw the signpost flashing in the high beam glare, but I was lost in thought, or lost in my despair. I kept my foot down, staring straight ahead, ignoring every warning that the dashboard said. The painted lines are blurring into one. I'm driving toward a setting secondary sun, and every mile I put between your heart and mine is a debt I'm paying for a love that was divine. I took the wrong exit, now I'm miles out of reach, on a road that doesn't lead to the lessons you could teach. I'm stuck on a bypass, circling the ghost of the version of us that I needed the most. I look for a U-turn, but the concrete is high, and all I can see is a dark, empty sky. Yeah, I took the wrong exit, and I can't get back to the light of your love from this one-way track. There's a diner up ahead with a flickering neon sign, reminds me of the nights when your hand was in mine. I thought about stopping, asking for the way, but there aren't any words left for me to say. I've got a tank full of gas and a heart full of lead, replaying the things that were better unsaid. The radio is static, the signal is weak, just like the sorry I was too proud to speak. Now the scenery is strange and the hills are too steep, and I've got a mountain of secrets to keep. I'm drifting further into the unknown, the king of a highway that I walk alone. I took the wrong exit, now I'm miles out of reach, on a road that doesn't lead to the lessons you could teach. I'm stuck on a bypass, circling the ghost of the version of us that I needed the most. I look for a U-turn, but the concrete is high, and all I can see is a dark, empty sky. Yeah, I took the wrong exit, and I can't get back to the light of your love from this one-way track. Sometimes the shortest distance is a crooked line, but I made a maze out of water and wine. I should've slowed down when the rain started falling. I should've looked back when I heard your heart calling. Now the exit is closed, and the bridge is down. Without your voice, the cursor's blinking like a steady heart, but I don't even know where I should start. I've typed I miss you, and I've typed I'm sorry too, trying to rewrite the ending of me and you. The clock says 2 a.m., the walls are closing in. I'm pouring out my soul onto this glowing screen. Sentences of fire, paragraphs of rain, 1,000 different ways to describe this pain. My finger hovers over the button on the right, a tiny little choice in the middle of the night. I could let you know, I could let it fly, or I could keep the truth tucked behind a lie. Delete draft and let the white space win. I can't let the ghost of us back in. It's a letter to the wind, a message to the floor, a conversation ending at a closed off door. The words were so heavy, but now they're just gone, like a shadow disappearing in the early dawn. Yeah, I saved myself the fall, but I'm still torn in half every time I hit delete draft. I wrote about the day we drove out to the coast, the version of your smile that I love the most. I explained the reasons why I had to go, and all the little things that I didn't know. It was poetic, it was honest, it was raw, the most beautiful disaster that I ever saw. But you're sleeping soundly in a different life, and these words would only cut like a jagged knife. So I highlight the forever and I highlight the please, bringing all my secrets down to their knees. There's no undo for the way that I feel, but I can make the evidence a little less real. Delete draft and let the white space win. I can't let the ghost of us back in. It's a letter to the wind, a message to the floor, a conversation ending at a closed off door. The words were so heavy, but now they're just gone, like a shadow disappearing in the early dawn. Yeah, I saved myself the fall, but I'm still torn in half every time I hit delete draft. Is it a victory or is it a defeat to leave the most important things incomplete? The inbox is empty, the screen is a blank, like a ship that went down and silently sank. No record of the tears, no record of the plea, just a quiet discard for you and for me. The prompt is looking at me, making it hard. Yes, click, and the screen is just a light. Good night, my love. Good night. Good night. Good night. I saw you today in a crowd on the street. For a second the rhythm was perfect and sweet. You wore that old jacket, the one with the tear, and the smell of the rain was still stuck in your hair. But I blinked for a moment and the colors all bled. The words that you spoke turned to silence instead. The face was a stranger's, the eyes were too cold, just a fragment of story I'm trying to hold. My mind is a record, the start and the skip. I'm losing my footing, I'm losing my grip. I'm chasing a ghost through a digital haze, trying to find you in a permanent maze. It's a glitch in the memory, a break in the code, a beautiful detour on a desolate road. I see you in shadows, I hear you in sighs, but the data is corrupted and the logic just lies. I'm reaching for hands that have turned into air, there's nobody there. Just a flicker of light where the fire used to be. A glitch in the memory of you and of me. Sometimes I wake up and I'm calling your name, like the ending is different, like I'm not to blame. I can taste the espresso, I can feel the July, before the connection began to run dry. But then the screen jitters, the picture gets thin, and the hollow reality comes rushing back in. You're a frame that is frozen, a skip in the track, a piece of my soul that I'll never get back. I'm rewinding the tapes till the ribbon is frayed, watching the colors of everything fade. I'm stuck in a loop of a day in the park, a short circuit heart in the middle of dark. It's a glitch in the memory of breaking the code, a beautiful detour on a desolate road. I see you in shadows, I hear you in sighs, but the data is corrupted and the logic just lies. I'm reaching for hands that have turned into air, searching for us, but there's nobody there. Just a flicker of light where the fire used to be. A glitch in the memory of you and of me. The pixels are falling, the sky's turning white. I'm losing the battle with the speed of the light. I trade every tomorrow for one steady frame, where I don't have to wonder if you feel the same. But the system is crashing, the image is smashing. System failure. The fluorescent lights are humming low, echoing off the tiles below. I'm staring at a screen of black and white, watching cities flicker out of sight. The coffee's cold, the air is thin. I'm wearing regret like a second skin. There's a suitcase sitting by my feet, full of memories we couldn't keep. The voice on the speaker is cold and clear, calling for souls who don't belong here. But I'm paralyzed, caught in the grave, watching the last of us drift away. It's midnight at the terminal, the world is standing still. I'm waiting for a heart to change, but I know it never will. The ghost of our forever, our boarding gate B9, and I'm just a shadow left behind the line. Yeah, it's midnight at the terminal, and I'm losing what was mine. I see a couple laughing by the glass, a bit of vision of our broken past. They don't know how fast the sky can fall, or how quiet it gets within these walls. I check my phone 1,000 times, looking for words between the is a heavy rhythmic beat of a million people I'll never meet. The engines are roaring, the sky's turning ink. I'm standing right here on the edge of the brink, and the hardest part of letting go is the take care. That sounds like no. It's midnight at the terminal. The world is standing still. I'm waiting for a heart to change, but I know it never will. The ghost of our forever are boarding gate B9, and I'm just a shadow left behind the line. Yeah, it's midnight at the terminal, and I'm losing what was mine. One-way ticket to a place I don't know, running away from the I told you so. The runway is shimmering, wet with the rain, like silver stitches for all of this pain. 3, 2, 1, and the wheels leave the ground, leaving the ghost of your name in this town. It's midnight at the terminal. The world is finally still. I waited for your heart to change, and I guess it never will. The ghosts of our forever have left through gate B9, and I'm just a passenger running out of time. Yeah, it's midnight at the terminal, and I'm leaving you behind. Midnight at the terminal. The sky is empty now, just the hum of the lights and the long way down. The dashboard's glowing in neon blue while I'm driving away from the thought of you. I passed the exit where we used to stop for cheap paper cups in the coffee shop. The voice in the box is calm and cold, repeating the stories I've already told. Turn around, impossible, she says to the air, but I'm looking for a road that doesn't lead there. I'm 100 miles from the life we planned, with the paper map slipping out of my hand. The satellite is searching for a signal in the dark, trying to find a flame from a dying spark. Now it's rerouting, calculating the cost of every single minute that we went and lost. I'm stuck on a bypass, circling the pain, trying to find a dry spot in the middle of the rain. The map keeps shifting, the lines are all blurred, searching for a sorry that was never heard. I'm 1,000 miles gone, but I'm still standing still, rerouting my heart, and I always will. The radio's playing that song from the fall back, when we thought we could handle it all. I see a sign for a town I don't know, maybe that's where the broken things go. I'm staring at the asphalt, black and white, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Every mile I cover is a mile I regret. the silver haze, lost in a rhythm of these highway days. Proceed to the root, but the route is all wrong. I've been driving this circle for way too long. Now it's rerouting, calculating the cost of every single minute that we went and lost. I'm stuck on a bypass, circling the pain, trying to find a dry spot in the middle of the rain. The map keeps shifting, the lines are all blurred, searching for a sorry that was never heard. I'm 1,000 miles gone, but I'm still standing still, rerouting my heart, and I always will. Sometimes the GPS don't see the debris, the wreckage of you and the wreckage of me. I'm looking for a U-turn, I'm looking for a sign, but the gravel is the only thing left on the line. Recalculating. In a moving car. Scrolling. The room is dark, but the screen is bright. My thumb is moving through the ghost of the night, starting at the end where the message is slowed, before the heavy silence took over the road. Back through the maybes and the where are you nows, to the peak of the mountain and the forever vows. The glass feels cold against my skin as I dive back to where we used to begin. Swipe up for the laughter, swipe up for the light, before the wrong turn turned into a fight. I'm the digital traveler, lost in the blur, looking for the girl who lived where you were. I'm scrolling through the past, chasing the glow of a fire that burned out a long time ago. The pixels are perfect, the smiles are so deep, but these are just secrets the clock is to keep. Every thumbnail's a heartbeat, every video's a sting. I'm holding on tight to a digital thing. Yeah, the data remains, but the feeling won't last. I'm just a ghost scrolling through the past. There's a one from the beach in the middle of June. We were singing off-key to a radio tune. Your eyes were so clear, not a shadow in sight. I didn't know then we were running out of light. I read all the I love yous and can't wait to see the versions of you that were written for me. But the timestamps are cruel and the dates are all old. A story in photos, it's already been told. I'm fresh in the feet, like it's gonna change. How we ended up here, so bitter and strange. I'm a prisoner here in a gallery of blue, searching for a version of me that has you. Scrolling through the past, chasing the glow of a fire that burned out a long time ago. The pixels are perfect, the smiles are so deep, but these are just secrets the cloud gets to keep. Every thumbnail's a heartbeat, every video's a sting. I'm holding on tight to a digital thing. Yeah, the data remains, but the feeling won't last. I'm just a ghost scrolling through the past. I could hit delete, I could clear out the space, I could wipe every memory of your beautiful face, but I'm terrified of the empty. I'm scared go, but to say goodbye. I'm staring at the bars atop the screen, tracing the spaces in between. I sent a prayer into the dark, but it never found a place to park. I'm standing where the service used to be, beneath the shadow of our willow tree. But the air is thin and the wind is cold, and there's no one left for me to hold. I dial the digits just to hear the tone, but it's a hollow sound when you're alone. A digital ghost in a plastic shell, ringing down a wishing well. Signal lost, I'm drifting out to sea, static where your voice used to be. I'm screaming I love you to a dial tone, in a frequency that's on my own. Connection's dead, the line is thin. I don't know where you end and I begin. I'm reaching out across the frost, but the signal's lost. Yeah, the signal's lost. The blue light flickers on my face, this empty, quiet, hollow space. Message failed, the screen keeps saying, like a cool response to what I'm praying. Do you see the dots? Do they even start? Or am I just a glitch inside your heart? I'm wandering through this dead zone town, waiting for the sky to bring you down. The battery is bleeding, turning red, like every single word we never said. I'm holding on to a fading spark in the middle of the dark. Signal lost, I'm drifting out to sea, static where your voice used to be. I'm screaming I love you to a dial tone, in a frequency that's all my own. The connection's dead, the line is thin. I don't know where you end and I begin. I'm reaching out across the frost, but the signal's lost. Maybe you're out of range, maybe I'm just the same. Maybe the satellites fell from the sky and left me here to wonder why. I'm looking for a bar, I'm looking for a sign, but there's nothing but silence on the other end of the line. Can you hear me? Are you there? Just a whisper through the air, searching, searching, disconnected. I'm waiting for the chime, I'm waiting for the call, but the little switches flip to the silver side, where the whispers and the heartbeats go to hide. I put it on the nightstand, face down in the dark. No flickering of hope, no tiny electric spark. I told myself I needed just a little peace, but the quiet is a knot that I can't release. I'm bracing for the vibration that never hits, while the version of us just falls to bits. I'm screaming in the hallway loud and clear, but there's a wall of static that you'll never hear. I got my heart on silent mode tonight, shutting out the sun, shutting out the light, because a ringtone is a promise that you're gonna stay. And I can't handle hearing you walk away, so I'll live in the hollow, I'll live in the hush, far away from the fever and the digital rush. Yeah, the world is screaming, but the story is old, and I'm keeping my feelings on silent mode. I wonder if you're dialing, if you're checking the time, wondering why I'm silent, wondering if I'm fine. Maybe you're grateful for the quiet on the line, a clean break of rhythm, a lucky sign. I see the missed notifications when I finally look, like torn out pages from a heavy book. But I don't click the names, I don't check the glass, I just let the hours and the shadows pass. The battery is steady, the signal is strong, but the hello is missing where it used to belong. I'm holding my breath in this soundproof room, wrapped in the velvet of a digital gloom. I got my heart on silent mode tonight, shutting out the sound, shutting out the light, because a ringtone is a promise that you're gonna stay. And I can't handle hearing you walk away, so I'll live in the hollow, I'll live in the hush, far away from the fever and the digital rush. Yeah, the world is screaming, but the story is old, and I'm keeping my feelings on silent mode. Is it a shield or is it a cage to turn the volume down on all of this rage? The phone is cold, just a piece of debris, a physical barrier between you and me. Don't wake me. Don't make a sound. No bell, no whistle, just the sound of the rain and the desert thistles. I'm still here, but I'm hard to find. Left the rest of the world and your voice behind. Silent, silent, silent. I felt the phantom buzz against my hip, a ghost of a touch, a momentary slip. I reached for the light in the palm of my hand, hoping for a word I could understand. But the screen is a mirror, cold and flat, no banner to tell me just where you're at. Just the glow of the moon on a silent floor, and the sound of the wind at the kitchen door. I'm waiting for a sound that never comes, a rhythm that beats like the quietest drums. I've memorized the chime, I've memorized the tone, but the air is the only thing I truly own. It's the empty notification, the one I didn't get, the message you didn't think to send me at a blank space of nothing, where everything was a heart that's still breaking. Just because I'm staring at a lock screen, waiting for a sign, but there's no saw red dot, but it was just the news. Another day of living with the things I lose. I cleared away the clutter, I cleared away the spam. I'm still trying to find out just who I am. Without your name popping up at the top, without the good morning that made my heart stop. Now it's just weather and reminders for its shores, but I'm still waiting for a word that was yours. The battery is full, but the spirit is low. I've got nowhere to go, and no one to know. I'm checking the signal, I'm checking the sky, looking for a reason not to say goodbye. It's the empty notification, the one I didn't get. The message you didn't think to send me at a blank space of nothing, where everything was a heart that's still breaking. Just because I'm staring at a lock screen, waiting for a sign, but there's no blue bubble at the end of the line. Just a shadow of a feeling, a hollow kind of frustration, living in the silence of an empty notification. Is all that is left, a digital hollow soul of a theft. I'm waiting for the pain, I'm waiting for anything. Here, nothing at all, just the clock ticking back on the wall. Swipe it away, clear it all out. The silence is the only thing I'm sure about. The blue light is burning a hole in my eyes, and the heavy dark where the lonely truth lies. I've typed out a novel, then deleted the parts where I begged for the pieces of our broken hearts. The cursor is blinking, a steady sharp beat, like a pulse in the silence, like a cold kind of heat. I finally hit send, though I know I should wait, tossing my pride to the shadows of fate. I'm watching the bubble, I'm watching the time, committing a digital desperate crime. The world is asleep, but I'm wide awake, counting the seconds it takes for a heart to break. And it's unread at 3 a.m., just a ghost in the machine again. I'm screaming through glass at a wall made of air, hoping you'll wake up and see that I'm there. One check mark is gray and the silence is loud. I'm lost in the static, I'm lost in the cloud. The moon is a witness to all that I've said, but it's 3 in the morning and I'm still unread. I scroll through the history back to the us before all the distance and lack of the trust, when good night was instant and I love you was fast. Now I'm just digging through graves of the past. Maybe your phone is face down on the floor, maybe you don't wanna hear anymore, or maybe you saw it and just didn't care, and left me hanging in the freezing night air. The clock on the wall says it's nearly 4. I'm checking the screen just 100 times more. sleeping soundly while I'm letting go. I'm paralyzed here by the glow of the phone. The most connected I've ever been, and the most alone. Still unread. I think I'll put the phone away. The silence says enough anyway. The steam used to dance in the morning light, a bridge through the shadows of a restless night. Two ceramic rings on the wooden table. Back when I thought that us was stable. Now the kitchen is quiet, the clock is too loud, and the sun is hiding behind a cloud. I made 2 cups like I always do, one for the ghost of the memory of you. I watched the cream swirl and settle deep, like the promises that we couldn't keep. The heat is escaping, vanishing then, just like the warmth of your hand on my skin. Now the coffee's gone cold and the sugar's turned bitter. I'm staring at the counter, at the dust and the glitter of a life that we built and left in the rain. Now there's nothing but caffeine to swallow the pain. It's been an hour, maybe a year, since I tasted the salt of a morning tear. The cup is still full, but the fire is old. And honey, my coffee's gone cold. I remember the way you liked your sweet, before every word became a retreat. I'm holding the handle, but I don't take a sip. The porcelain's smooth, but I'm losing my grip. The mail is piling up by the door. I don't know who I'm waiting here for. Just a man in a kitchen, lost in the black, waiting for a flavor that's never coming back. The surface is stagnant, a dark wavy sea, reflecting the version of him and of me. I reach for the kettle, then put it back down. Silence is the only sound in this town. Now the coffee's gone cold and the sugar's turned bitter. I'm staring at the counter, at the dust and the glitter of a life that we built, then left in the rain. Now there's nothing but caffeine to swallow the pain. It's been an hour or maybe a year since I tasted the salt of a morning tear. The cup is still full, but the fire is old. And honey, my coffee's gone cold. I could pour it out, I could wash it away, I could start a new pot for a brand new day. But as long as it's sitting right there on the wood, I can pretend that you stayed like you said you would. But it's freezing, yeah, it's freezing. story is told. The kitchen is dark and the coffee's cold. Brightness is dimming, the screen's turning gray, just like the feeling of you slipping away. I'm sitting in the corner of a darkened room, tracing the shadows, embracing the gloom. I've got so much to tell you, a lifetime of words, but they're trapped in my throat, unseen and unheard. In the little green bar that used to stay full is losing its grip, losing its pull. The warning pops up, a flash in the dark, a desperate plea, a dying spark. I'm scrambling for cables I'll never find, to plug back the pieces of us in my mind. My battery's at 1%, and I'm spending the last of the time we spent trying to type out, don't leave me behind, before the black screen makes me go blind. I'm running on empty, I'm running on air, sending a message to nobody there, a countdown to silence, a heartful end, and I'm down to my last 1%. I look at our photos, the light starts to flicker, the end of the story is coming on quicker. I remember the jars that we felt at the start. Now there's just low power mode in my heart. I'm trying to save every voice note you sent before the capacity is finally spent, but the system is failing, the hardware is cold. I'm losing the only hand I had to hold. The screen is twitching, the clock's standing still. I'd give you my life if I had the will, but the red line is thinning, the ghost of a trace fading away from the smile on your face. My battery's at 1%, and I'm spending the last of the time we spent trying to type out, don't leave me behind, before the black screen makes me go blind. I'm running on empty, I'm running on air, sending a message to nobody there, a countdown to silence, a heartful end, and I'm down to my last 1%. Don't go dark, it just one more minute. I can't face a world without you in it. The circle is spinning, the data is slow. There's so much of me that you'll never know. Please just stay, stay. My battery's at 1%, and I'm mourning the love that we never quite meant. I finally typed out, I'm still on your side, but the power cut out The echo is the loudest thing in here tonight, bouncing off the spaces where the sun was bright. There's a rectangular ghost on the chimney stack, where the clock used to sit, but it's not coming back. I'm walking on the carpet where the sofa stayed, tracing out the footprints where the fabric frayed. It's funny how the silence has a weight so heavy, breaking through the silence like a failing levee. I used to complain about the clutter and the mess, but now this emptiness is a different kind of stress. Every nail I pull out feels like a tooth, tearing out the stitches of a painful truth. And now I'm staring at the bare walls, cold and white, with nowhere for the memories to hide from the light. No more pictures of the coast, no more mirrors in the hall, just the hollow, empty nothing of these bare walls. I'm stripped down to the sheetrock, I'm open to the bone, in a house that used to be us but is now just a stone. Yeah, the hardest part of losing you, the hardest part of all, it's the view from the center of these bare walls. There's a shadow where the table stood, where we carved our initials in the cherry wood. I can still see the smudge from your shoulder blade against the white paint in the corner shade. But the hooks are all empty and the shelves are all clear. There's not a single trace left that you were here, except for the dust and the holes in the wood. I'd hang it all back up if I only could. I thought that space would give me room to breathe, but it just gave the sadness more room to seethe. I'm screaming at the plastic, but it doesn't make a sound. It just reflects the lonely back onto the ground. Nowhere for the memories to hide from the light. No more pictures of the coast, no more mirrors in the hall, just the hollow, empty nothing of these bare walls. I'm stripped down to the sheetrock, I'm open to the bone, in a house that used to be us but is now just a stone. Yeah, the hardest part of losing you, the hardest part of all, is the view from the center of these bare walls. Just four corners and the ceiling, I don't know. Nowhere to look, nowhere to go. Bare walls, bare heart, watch it all fall apart. I'm sitting in the corner of the guest room floor, where the light doesn't reach the glass anymore. There's a shadow of a frame where a picture used to hang, of a summer night and the songs we sang. But the sun's been beating on these four walls longer than the echoes in the empty halls. And the pattern that you chose, the lilies and the vines, are losing their color just like yours and mine. I can see the edges starting to curl, like the end of the world for a lonely girl. It's peeling back slowly to show what's beneath the cracks in the plaster, the holes in the belief. Now we're just fading wallpaper, losing our gold. A beautiful story that's been bought and sold. Once we were vibrant, once we were deep, now we're we're just a secret that the drywall keeps. You can't see the flowers, you can't see the blue. I'm washing away, and so are you. Just a pale imitation of the love we know, fading wallpaper turning into gray. Watching the memory of us wash away. I try to glue the pieces back down with my tears, but you can't fix the damage of the passing years. There's a watermark stain where the rain leaked through, right where I used to lean my head against you. The rose is a ghost and the leaves are just blurred, like the I love yous that go unheard. Every morning the glare takes a little more ink, until I'm standing on the edge of the brink. Maybe we'll just be a layer underneath for the next ones who move in and find their relief. They'll cover our sadness with a fresh coat of white and sleep in the room where we gave up the fight. But I'll still be here, pressed thin and small, dying in the layers of the bedroom wall. 'Cause we're just fading wallpaper, losing our gold. A beautiful story that's been bought and sold. Once we were vibrant, once we were deep. Now we're just a secret that the drywall keeps. You can't see the flowers, you can't see the blue. I'm washing away, and so are you. Just a pale imitation of the love we've known, fading wallpaper turning into gray. Watching the memory of us wash away. Peeling at the corners, losing all the color. It was so bright once, wasn't it? So bright. Now it's just the wall, just a blank wall. Just a blank wall. The rain is tracing patterns on the glass, watching all the people as they pass. I'm sitting in the kitchen in the dark, searching for a flicker, for a spark. Your fingerprints are faded on the sill. The house is standing empty, gray and still. I draw a little heart into the steam and watch it bleed away just like a dream. And I'm looking through these window panes, trying to find some shelter from the rains. But the glass is just a barrier I can't break between the life I had and this mistake. The world outside is moving bright and blue, but I'm trapped inside this frame without you. Just a silhouette against the evening gray, watching everything I love drift away. I see the neighbor's porch light flicker on, a reminder of the glow that's truly gone. I used to watch for headlights in the drive. That was back when I felt half alive. Now the glass is cold against my burning head, reflecting back the things I never said. It's a transparent wall, a crystal cage, the final sentence on a ruined page. If I could shatter every pane into the street, would the air feel bitter or would it feel sweet? Would I finally run until I reached your door, or would I just be broken on the floor like the glass? Oh, just like the glass. fog is rolling in, the view is gone. I'll be sitting here until the break of dawn. Just a window, just a pane, just the salt white tracks of the fallen rain. I'm walking the same path we took in July, under the weight of a charcoal sky. The weeds are winning, pushing through the gray, just like the things we were too proud to say. I remember your shadow dancing next to mine, before the weather turned and we ran out of time. Now the ground is uneven and the concrete is cold, and I'm stumbling on promises that didn't take hold. Every step is a gamble, every inch is a flaw. It's funny how the strongest things are the first to thaw. We built it to last, we built it to stay, but the earth moved beneath us and pulled it away. Now I'm just standing on cracked pavement, watching the flowers grow through the holes, trying to find where the love went in the spaces between our souls. It's jagged and broken, it's weathered and worn, the seams of our forever are ragged and torn. I'm trying to walk, but I'm losing my placement, tripping on the pieces of this cracked pavement. I see your name carved in a circle of grit, from a summer so bright we were blinded by it. Now the rain fills the grooves where the letters were deep, like the secrets and sorrows we promised to keep. The foundation is shifting, the surface is thin. I don't know where the damage ends and I begin. You can patch up the surface, you can try to ignore, but it never goes back to the way it was before. You can't drive a car over ruins like these, you can't build a house on its shaking knees. I'm looking for solid ground, looking for smooth, but there's nothing but edges and nothing to prove. Just the lines in the road where we let it all go. Now I'm just standing on cracked pavement, watching the flowers grow through the holes, trying to find where the love went in the spaces between our souls. It's jagged and broken, it's weathered and worn, the seams of our forever are ragged and torn. I'm trying to walk, but I'm losing my placement, tripping on the pieces of this cracked pavement. Watch your step, the ground is giving way. There's a fracture in the heart of everything we used to say. Just a long broken road leading nowhere at all. On this cracked pavement, I'm waiting for the fall. I remember when the roses held the light, and the lilies used to glow against the night. We spent our Sundays digging in the clay, mapping out a life that wouldn't wash away. But the seasons turned and left us in the cold, and the story that we planted grew too old. Now the gate is rusted, swinging in the wind, where the beauty stops and the loss begins. Now it's just garden weeds and tangled vines growing over all your promises and mine. I'm trying to pull them out, but the roots are deep, buried in the secret secrets that we couldn't keep. Wild and thorns, where the violence used to be. Just a garden full of weeds, and the ghost of you and me. The sundial's broken, frozen on the hour, when the rain forgot to find the dying flower. I see your footprint in the hardened mud, next to a wilted stem that never got to bud. I used to think that love was built to last, but it's getting swallowed by the overgrown past. And every time I try to clear the view, I cut my hands on memories of you. Yeah, it's just garden weeds and tangled vines growing over all your promises and mine. I'm trying to pull them out, but the roots are deep, buried in the secrets that we couldn't keep. Wild and thorns, where the violence used to be. Just a garden full of weeds, and the ghost of you and me. Is there a bloom left under the debris, or is the earth just reclaiming you and me? I'm on my knees, but I'm not praying anymore, just staring at the dirt on the garden floor. The heavy shadow fall, I let the thistle take the lead, and the heart that's gone to see nothing but weeds, just garden weeds. I'm standing on the porch in the pouring rain, counting every brick to numb the pain. The windows are dark, the curtains are drawn, like everything we were is already gone. I reached in my pocket and felt the weight of the silver jagged piece that sealed our fate. It's cold in my palm, a heavy, heavy stone, the hardest part of being alone. And I'm staring at the key in the lock, listening to the seconds on the hallway clock. I know the turn, I know the way inside, but I'm standing on the edge of a great divide. It still fits the hole, but it won't fit the heart. One little click and I'd fall apart. So I'm leaving the key in the lock tonight, and walking away from the only light. Brought it home, a brand new start, no more on our own. We laughed as we turned it, we stepped through the door, but I don't recognize that man anymore. Now there's a ghost on the other side of the wood, who'd take me back if she only could. Or maybe she's sleeping, dreaming of a life where I wasn't the one who held the knife. And I'm staring at the key in the lock, listening to the seconds on the hallway clock. I know the turn, I know the way inside, but I'm walking away from the only light. If I open it up, I'll smell your perfume. I'll see the shadows in the living room. I'll see the empty space where my boots used to be. And I'll have to face what's left of me. The porch swing is holding its breath again. In the silence of this neighborhood, I'm tracing the outlines of where you've been. Like a ghost in the cedar wood, the paint is peeling in long thin strips. Like the promises we couldn't keep, I've got your name on the tip of my lips. While the rest of the world's asleep, I try to push the door open wide to let a little light inside. But the metal groans under the weight of a love that arrived just a little too late. And it sounds like rusting hinges screaming out in the cold. The sound of a heart that's fraying at the fringes, in the story that's getting old. I'm reaching for a handle that doesn't turn, in a house where the fire refuses to burn. Just the sound of the metal, the snap and the whine of a door that won't open one more time. The winter weeds and the mailbox is full of the past. I'm planting the memories like bitter seeds, knowing nothing was built to last. I heard your voice in the wind today, or maybe just the settling floor. But every time I try to walk away, I find my hand back on that door. Let the rain in, we let the salt air bite. We didn't oil the joints or keep the seals tight. Now it's frozen shut, it's a jagged line, a permanent border between yours and mine. And I'm pulling, and I'm praying, and I'm losing my grip on a sinking ship. Coffee's gone cold on the counter. The clock's ticking loud on the wall. I'm tracing the cracks in the ceiling, waiting for nothing at all. I try to remember the scent of your skin, but the memory's starting to fade. And the bed feels like an ocean, and the wreckage that we made. I'm moving in slow motion through a life that isn't mine, trying to find a rhythm, but I'm running out of time. And it's just shallow breathing, counting the seconds between every beat, staring at the space where you used to sleep. It's a heavy kind of silence, a hollow kind of blue. I forgot how to exhale since I lost you. My lungs are heavy, my chest is tight, just barely making it through the night on shallow breathing. Just shallow breathing. I went for a walk in the city to lose myself in the crowd, but every phase looks like a shadow, and the quiet is getting too loud. I see a couple holding hands by the light, and I have to turn my head away, 'cause the air feels like it's thinning with every word I didn't say. They say that time is a healer, that the pressure's gonna drop, but I'm stuck in the moment. The heartbeat stopped, and the gasp and the sigh and the long goodbye. I'm reaching for oxygen in a desert sky, and it's just shallow breathing, counting the seconds between every beat, staring at the space where you used to sleep. It's a heavy kind of silence, a hollow kind of blue. I forgot how to exhale since I lost you. My lungs are heavy, my chest is tight, just barely making it through the night on shallow breathing. Just shallow breathing. In and out, but it never feels like enough. Just a ghost of a breath in a world that's getting rough. Deep breath in, but I can't let go. Shallow breathing is all I know. All I know. All I know. I still catch myself turning the handle to the door at the end of the hall, where the sunlight hits the dust on the floorboards, and the silence is 10 feet tall. I haven't moved a single box or changed the sheets on the bed. It's a museum of the life we planned and the words we never said. Now it's just a spare room, empty and cold, a collection of stories that'll never be told. I decorated the walls in a shade of your favorite blue, but there's no one to sleep there and nothing to do. It was meant for a future, it was meant for a home. Now it's just 20 square feet where I feel most alone. Just a hollow space spare room. I remember the day that we painted, getting white streaks in your hair. We laughed about the years we'd spent, putting memories in there. Now the closet is filled with nothing but the echo of a closing door. And I can't remember why I thought we needed any more. Sometimes I sit on the edge of the mattress and pretend I hear you call my name, but the house just sighs under the weight of a life that's not the same. It's a graveyard for a maybe, it's a shrine to what if, and I'm just a stranger in the house we used to live. Now it's just a spare room, empty and cold, a collection of stories that'll never be told. I decorated the walls in a shade of your favorite blue, but there's no one to sleep there and nothing to do. I think I'll keep the door locked tonight, keep the memories out of you, but every room in this heart of mine is just a spare room without you. Yeah, it's all just empty space without you. The coffee's cold on the nightstand, 2 sugars just like you'd need. I'm still reaching out with a ghost of a hand to a space where you used to breathe. The silence is louder than sirens, it's ringing inside of my head, and the hardest part of the morning is the sight of this unmade bed. 'Cause your side is still tangled in velvet and mine is as cold as a stone. It's a map of the way that we melted before I was left here alone. I can't bring myself to straighten the sheets or smooth out the place where you laid. It's the only piece of you I get to keep in the wreckage that we both made. There's a silver hair on the pillow, I should brush it away, but I don't. The curtains, they sway like a willow in a house that feels more like a boat, just drifting away from the harbor to a sea of the things left unsaid. And I'm drowning in cotton and harbor, the ghost in this unmade bed. They say time is a healer, shadows are starting to spread, and I'll sleep on the couch for another night to save what's left of this unmade bed. Yeah, this unmade bed. The swing on the porch is heavy with frost, and I'm counting the minutes, adding the cost of every later and not right now that turned into wrinkles across my brow. The dust is settling on your favorite chair. I reach for the scent of you, but it's not there. Just the rhythmic pulse against the wall, monitoring the rise, measuring the fall. Oh, that ticking clock is a hollow sound, beating like a heart that's no longer found. Every second is a mile, every minute is a door, closing on the life that we lived before. I'd give my forever for one yesterday, to find the right words I forgot to say. But the gears keep turning, cruel and steady, taking you away before I was ready. I try to pull the battery from the back to stop the light from slipping through the crack, but the sun still sets and the shadows still creep, and I'm losing the promises I meant to keep. The house is a museum of used to be, gallery of ghosts only I can see, and that steady click is a hammer blow, reminding me how much I let you go. They say that time is a river, wide and deep, but it's a thief that climbs in while you sleep. It stole the gold right out of your hair and left me gasping for the thinning air. Slow down, can you just slow down? Click, tick, the room grows dark. One more ember, one less spark. The silence is coming, it's right on time, leaving me here with a broken rhyme. 12 o'clock and you're gone. 12 o'clock and you're gone. The coffee's cold, the house is still, the silence is a bitter pill. I found the pen, I found the page, but I'm still locked inside this cage I started with. I you're well, but there's a story I can't tell. The ink is dry, the margins blurred. I'm choking on the final word, and it's an unfinished letter to a finished love. Looking for answers from the stars above. I've got 1,000 things I meant to say, but the wind just blew the thoughts away. Every line is a ghost of what we used to be. Just an unfinished letter from a broken me. I wrote about that night in June, underneath the crooked moon. I tried to ask where we went wrong, but the paragraph felt way too long. I crossed out stay, I wrote goodbye, then watched the teardrops hit the eye. It's a map of everywhere we went, a message that will never be sent. And it's an unfinished letter to a finished love. Looking for answers from the stars above. I've got 1,000 things I meant to say, but the wind just blew the thoughts away. Every line is a ghost of what we used to be. Just an unfinished letter from a broken me. Should I fold it up? Should I burn it down? Scared of the ashes all over this town. It's hard to breathe when the page is white, and I'm losing the will to try and write the ending we deserve. I'd explain it better if I only could, but the ink ran out and the candle died, and there's nothing left but the ache inside. Just a signature in a lonely space where I used to write your name.